What is going on, bros? This is BDLM coming with J4Y, giving you another game from the Electronic Sports World Cup. What is going on, Jay?
Hey man, it's good to have you here. Good to be here. Yeah, this is another game from the first round here. We got Team V, it looks like, versus this Monkey Business, who actually recently got picked up by SK Gaming, but back then they did not have that sponsorship. How are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. I can hear you loud and clear.
That's a positive.
Yes, we are. The first game we did not have the blessing of being able to see both the picks and the bans, or the bans, I guess I should say. But now we can actually see this between V and Monkey Business. Here we have the first ban going out by Monkey Business. They are going to ban Spectre, someone we know is a powerful carry. And then the second ban, of course, Prophet, someone who can get around the map, gank easily, and push easily.
Yeah, I mean, in our previous game, we saw a Spectre just get dominating farm and really took over that game. I think he had a Radiance and a Vanguard and Phase Boots by like 18 or 19 minutes. Is ridiculous. So just one of those heroes, him, Anti-Mage, Faceless, they can do some massive damage if they get that farm starting off. And then actually follow up here with a Lich ban, obviously no stranger to the banning pool. So great at that lane control, great AoE damage and good team synergy all around.
Yeah, definitely. That's something. If you're not going to pick Lich, you should just ban him. The ultimate is so strong as well. On top of the lane control that he's able to give, the slow, the armor, really just all of his abilities really good. Definitely one of the strongest supports in the game. Mentionable ban, Night Stalker, banned against Miguel, who loves the guy, loves Night Stalker to death, plays him very often mid and does very well with him. So it'll be interesting to see who Miguel actually winds up playing.
Yeah, I mean, and actually Anti-Mage getting picked up, no real surprise here. And then you're probably going to see this Team V pick up a similar hard carry either now or down the road here. Probably shouldn't wait till the second round of bans, though, because then if they do, obviously Monkey Team is going to ban out those really strong carries to counter him. But Anti-Mage, I mean, super strong.
Definitely, yeah. Like you were saying, him, Spectre, Faceless, those are carries that just get out of control. You think of heroes like Mirana, they can carry, but, they're just not as strong. You build Anti-Mage a little tanky, and he can just run rampant. We have Ancient Apparition, the first pick by V. It's also interesting to say, when we look at Monkey Business, I'm kind of expecting to see a Mirana pick up by them. Angel plays Mirana nonstop. It'll be interesting to see if V maybe tries to pick against Angel, perhaps banning Mirana. I don't know, but Angel certainly does play very strong on that hero. So we'll have to see what the second pick here is by V. Look like they will be eating into their bonus time, perhaps.
Perhaps.
Maybe.
Oh, there it goes.
There we go. Okay, reserve time kicking in. There you go. We'll have to see what the next pick is.
If it's either going to be like a nice strong carry or it's going to be hard CC against Anti-Mage. You really are going to look for like a lion or something, just something to lock him down. Otherwise, he's going to be all over the place dealing all that damage.
Absolutely. 30, 35, 40-minute mark, that's when those hard carries really start to take over. And if you're going to play against one of those hard carries with an int-heavy team or strength-heavy team, you need to make sure that you at least are able to get some CC up by that point. A Yule Scepter Divinity, perhaps, a Sheep Stick, something that's really going to let you either take them out of the fight or put them in a situation that you can kill them. Vengeful Spirit, very strong support, picked up by V. The ultimate's so strong, being able to put somebody else in a really terrible position, or perhaps even sacrificing herself potentially to get someone on her own team out of harm's way. 10 seconds remaining now for the Dire. Their next two picks. No one picked up yet by them. Well, what do you think about this Vengeful Spirit pickup? Do you like it, or would you really have liked V to pick up a hard carry?
Well, honestly, I was kind of expecting a support. They're going to leave that probably that carry into the second ban pool. Just because they want to keep that kind of a mystery. So this Monkey Team really isn't sure of what supports they're going to need to run. Actually, they do pick up that Mirana, as you were talking about, kind of a favorite over there. So she's really strong at that long lane. She can leap out, have really great escape. Decent farming can set up those ganks on middle and other lanes. But going back to the Vengeful Spirit, I do like it as a support pick. I've always kind of preferred Lion against Anti-Mage, obviously because he has multiple stuns and that huge burst of an ultimate. But Vengeful Spirit really synergizes well with a lot of lineups just because of the minus armor, as well as the damage aura buff. And of course a 2.5-second stun. Who doesn't like that?
Yeah, absolutely. Crystal Maiden here, another pickup. We'll have one more pick by V before the next round of the bans.
Crystal Maiden. I mean, I do like her with like a Mirana. Obviously, when you pick up a Crystal Maiden, you're looking for a lineup that's going to be pretty mana intensive, at least in the early stages of the game. Obviously, when it gets to the middle later, mana is really not as much of an issue. But Anti-Mage, I mean, he blinks around, so I guess that can be kind of helpful. But there's probably other champions that would benefit more from that aura.
Yeah, I really do like the Crystal Maiden pickup with the Mirana. Starstorm really kind of it's a really strong ability. It doesn't get enough credit, I don't think. Especially early on in the game, if you get 2 stars to land on somebody, they're in a really bad position right off that. The leap allows her to get in on top of somebody, almost guaranteeing where that star lands. And then, of course, the arrow also makes it very easy, and that's additional damage to go on top of that. So she really kind of has an almost tiny-like combo. If she can land an arrow, a leap, and then a Starstorm, she can really take out some of those squishy heroes very easily. Tidehunter, the last pick before the second round of bans by V. Amazing hero. I love it. What do you think about it?
Well, I mean, we were talking about needing to lock down the Anti-Mage, and his ultimate might be one of the best in the game for that. I mean, it's a huge team disable. He also, in addition, which kind of can be underrated, but that Anchor Smash, obviously not recently changed, but it does that damage and also reduces damage of everyone affected by a big chunk. Really actually strong against like an Anti-Mage kind of a carry. Yeah, I'm definitely all about that pick.
Definitely, the Gush, too, is so nice. The slow, it's a pretty long duration, as well as the armor reduction. Fantastic. And, we're talking about armor reduction. Vengeful Spirit also with her, I can't remember the name of it at the moment, but those two abilities together, that's a lot of armor reduction. So whoever they pick up for their hard carry is definitely going to benefit from both of those in team fight situations.
Interesting ban coming out here from Radiant. They decided to go with Puck. Obviously, I mean, you do look back over here on the Monkey. They have their hard carry, they have a support, and they have their long lane, or who's going to fight the tri-lane. So basically, they need the middle, and they need either a jungler or another support. And I guess banning that Puck, they have to think that that would be really devastating against their lineup.
Yeah, the other thing, too, about Puck, you look at who the Dire have already. Anti-Mage, Mirana, Leap, Blink. If you add in the Puck, that's an insane amount of mobility. And all of a sudden, you could just have the enemy team on top of you and go, what? They can just come out of nowhere. We have the Dire banning Drow Ranger and Enigma to finish up their side. Kind of interesting picking up the Enigma. Not really sure how I feel about that. I guess fearing the push potential out of Enigma, as well as another AoE ultimate. Kind of interesting that they don't ban another hard carry, seeing as that's really what the Radiant need at this point.
Yeah, and actually, final ban here is going to be Beastmaster. I guess I was going to say that throws me off, but I can't actually understand that because they're most likely going to pick up a really strong hard carry there, and they're not going to want Beastmaster to mess up any kind of strategy. I mean, the Drow ban makes 100% sense to me. She's a great hard carry, and also that 6-second silence against like an Anti-Mage or even a Mirana who's trying to leap away. I mean, that's just devastating. So, and then Enigma, that ultimate, if you can place that right with a Blink Dagger, get a really good jump on someone. Another strong initiator. So, really sensing, there's your buddy Venomancer.
I love it. Absolutely love it. Here again, we see Crystal Maiden and Venomancer picked up together. That kind of mana regeneration with Venomancer wards, the sky's the limit as far as pushing is concerned. I imagine that Angel is going to wind up taking the solo on Mirana, so it'll be interesting to see what they try and do with this Venomancer and how they try and play the rest of the lanes, as most people would either consider Venomancer a support or a solo. So it'll be really interesting to see how he fits into the laning phase.
Yeah, I do like him in a lot of lineups, but I'm not sure if I like him in this one, only because, I mean, unless he went like, maybe he went in that long lane and then Mirana took middle, that could be a possibility. I mean, yeah, I guess we'll have to see how they finish this out. Meanwhile, Doombringer picked up over here on the Radiant, and super strong carry. I kind of don't know how I feel about him. I mean, I do love his ultimate against Anti-Mage. I mean, maybe that's exactly the reason they picked him up. I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, I was going to say straight up counter pick. I mean, that's how you deal with Anti-Mage. If you stop him from linking around, you also stop his mana burn with the silence. What does he really bring to the table? If they can take advantage of that ultimate early on in the game, really pin down the Anti-Mage, they're also going to be able to stop Mirana from leaping out. There's just a lot of potential in that ultimate, and he's going to be able to pretty much assure himself some farm with a Devour. I think it's just a good pick overall. We see Shadow Shaman is the last piece of the puzzle for the Dire. Those wards, huge for being able to push. 2 forms of crowd control. Upfront damage with the... It used to be called Fork Lightning. Cannot remember the name of it in this, unfortunately. But just straight up strong choice here to finish up the Dire team.
Yeah, and with that pick, you're going to have to assume that he's going to take the middle to get those levels, get the wards for pushing. So Venomancer possibly supporting, at least maybe initially. Maybe he could even get wards and go jungle strats. I mean, we've seen it happen before, so it wouldn't be a huge surprise. But either way, now that Doombringer's picked up, they're going to look up, and here's Windrunner actually. And we've seen in other games, it's very common. That's who they're going to run in that long lane, to try to get as much experience and farm as possible without, not putting yourself at too much risk. So there we have it. We had the lineups ready to go, and now we're just ready for them to pick their heroes and get into the game.
Definitely, seeing who picks up who. Here at the top, we can see that Miguel is picking up the Shadow Shaman. He will most likely be mid. He does mid as Night Stalker, so we are pretty safe in assuming that he will be there. I'm assuming a tri-lane for Anti-Mage. I mean, that's what seemed to make the most sense for me here. We saw actually in the game we just cast the potential for Crystal Maiden, slow, stun, and then the Venomancer poison to just decimate people. Calculus picking up that Venomancer, wishing his opponents some good luck, and maybe even some fun on top of it.
Well, what's one without the other? It's like peanut butter and jelly, man. You can't just have a peanut butter sandwich. Well, you can, but it's just not the same.
Yeah, I mean, good luck, but, have a crappy time. I mean, it doesn't really make any sense,
Good luck. We want you to lose, and you suck.
Here we do see, I'm just so smart, Jay. I don't know what to tell you. We have Crystal Maiden, Anti-Mage, and Venomancer going to the top lane. That will be a tri-lane. Angel will solo bottom, and Miguel will take the solo mid. On the other side of the board, we have Doombringer looking into solo bottom. And at the top, we have a tri-lane of Windrunner, Tidehunter, and Vengeful Spirit. Very interesting.
So I completely called that wrong, I suppose. Actually, action picking up here. Vengeful gets slowed, double slowed. Anti-Mage blinks in very aggressively. That's a long cooldown level, and he's going to be careful. Windrunner decides to actually level up Windrunner first instead of either of her other moves. Interesting choice there. I guess she was a little scared, but either way, I guess it ends up being for nothing.
I actually have a little bit of lag. I'd like to check the game timer if you don't mind. I'm at 1350, 1351, 1352.
Keep going. Keep counting.
What are you? Oh, 55, 56, 57,
okay,
58, 59, 60. The teams look to meet here in the top river. Award going down here by the Team Monkey here in the top lane. What do you think about these tri-lanes? They come off really strange to me. I think if you had said Vengeful Spirit, Tidehunter, and Windrunner, I'd be like, what? Well, I don't really understand who they're going to try and I guess pick up the farm. I imagine Windrunner, but I think those 3 heroes, I'd expect 2 of them to be with a carry in the lane instead of it being the 3 of them together.
Well, here's the thing. I'm going to just go ahead and call that a kill lane. I mean, they have really good slow, they have a really good stun, and then if she gets that shackle shot afterwards, they could even kill Anti-Mage. I mean, that's just how much CC they have. So they're probably going to give Windrunner that full farm and just go for kills as they please. And Actually, I kind of like it. It's not going to allow Antimage to get that free farm we thought he might get if Windrunner was just there by herself. Meanwhile, when you look at the bottom lane, Doombringer versus Mirana, Doombringer should win that lane hands down, or at least be able to get the free farm he needs. He's just such a tanky, hero to start out with.
Yeah, once he picks up that Ring of Health, Angel's going to have to be really careful. He's going to be able to harass her, she's going to harass him back, but then he's just going to regen it. So we'll have to see how that turns out. Hopefully, they'll both be able to get the farm they want, so we can see some epic fights later on in the game. Here in the middle lane, we have Ancient Apparition and Miguel going at it on this Shadow Shaman. Shadow Shaman already down to under half health, taking a lot of harassment damage. Here, we see that Shadow Shaman has picked up Ether Shock, that's what it's called, and Shackles as well. The Ether Shock, a really large amount of upfront damage. It's something we see leveled up quite a bit, prioritized over the CCs in a lot of mid situations, so it'll be interesting to see. Yep, looks like he will look to level that first to put up that damage against Ancient Apparition and help secure himself some fun.
Yeah, definitely. Really good choice there. I honestly think that's going to be a pretty even lane. I mean, as soon as they hit 6, though, Shadow Shaman definitely picks up the advantage there with those wards. Ancient Apparition can only do so much against them, and has a kind of weak CC. I mean, it takes a while for that stun to proc, and she has a decent slow, but that's not enough to go against the Shadow Shaman. So I think, once they hit 6, Shadow Shaman definitely starts to have an advantage there. Meanwhile, bottom lane, like I was saying, just a massive free farm. I don't think that's going to amount to kills unless there's some serious roaming going on, but in the meantime, they're looking, I guess, just to do some jungle pulls up here in the top.
Yeah, this top lane was looking really hairy for a second. Tidehunter called Vegetamancer trying to pull some creeps around. He was almost in gush range. He really wanted to get that off. Like you were saying, there's so much kill potential between the three of these heroes on the Radiant. A gush probably would have meant the end of Vegetamancer, but luckily just out of range, so he will not have any issues there. Shadow Shaman picking up the rune bottom, the illusion. No, bottle on him, so, nice being able to pick up that and refill his bottle. He might look to try and put some pressure on this Doombringer bottom, as we were just saying, looking for that roam to try and hold him down. Angel does look to go in. Doombringer knows something's up. He pops that Scorched Earth. He's really not sure exactly what's going on. It looks like nothing's really going to happen here. Maybe some miscommunication. Miguel comes in late after Angel scares off that Doombringer. Unfortunate that they couldn't get that going there.
Yeah, I just want to point out that little bit of teamwork there that you wouldn't even notice unless you're looking for it. Right as he was about to port back, he did drop his 2 tangos he had left over for Mirana. So now not only does she have a bottle, but she also has his tangos. She's going to have such great sustain, and she'll be able to harass his Doombringer. Actually, Doombringer also picks up a bottle. It's kind of interesting, a double bottle bottom.
Yeah, that is interesting. Especially, I guess Doombringer really wants to be able to try and keep the control on the runes bottom. Doesn't want Mirana to be able to pick them all up. But yeah, that is very interesting. Obviously, we've been saying there's a lot of potential to harass back and forth Starstorm, and then Doombringer is just so tanky that he can kind of put up with any damage that she's putting out while he's looking to come up and land some damage. Shadow Shaman getting the second rune gets haste top, so he puts that into his bottle and looks to come back mid for farm.
The Ancient Apparition's really not even trying for these runes, which is pretty unfortunate because he has an empty bottle just sitting there, and meanwhile, Shadow Shaman can just lay out those Ether Shocks, which, as we said, do a huge amount of damage. And actually, he is halfway to 6, so if he picks up that 6 soon, he'll be able to take this tower, and there's not much Ancient Apparition can really do about it.
Yeah, Ancient Apparition just now picks up 6, does put that point in the ulti. We'll have to look, see where those ultis look to fly. You have to imagine if some of them went up the top lane that there's certainly going to be some kills up there. Actually, he drops down to 90 health from the Ether Shock. So much damage there from Miguel, who is now just sitting on his opponent's side of the board, picking up these final creep kills.
Ancient Apparition shoots an ulti up top. He's going to look like great initiation here. Ancient Apparition hits, and that's a dead Vegetamancer. Amazing setup there. Really good communication. As the Ancient Apparition, as soon as it was about to approach, you see a Shackle Shot come from Windrunner, and just a really good setup, followed by eventual Spirit Stun. He had no chance of surviving.
I would just like to point out 2 for 2 so far, because I'm amazing. It looks like they might try and push back, actually, as Vegetamancer comes back. Oh, Miguel looks to come up to the top lane.
Oh, no.
He gets shut down. He might go down here. Really, no, Crystal Maiden is able to take out Vengeful Spirit. Windrunner is also getting really low. Shadow Shaman picks up the kill with that Ether Shock. And there you have it, 2 kills right there. Oh, looks like the Ancient Apparition ulti will hit Shadow Shaman. Will it be enough? We'll have to wait and see.
It
Does
actually
not look
missed.
like it. Oh, it misses. Oh, my
That
bad.
would
Oh,
have
I was
one
looking at
shot
Arcane Aura. I was like, oh, look at that ice. Where's the ice duration moving?
That's unfortunate. Those are, I can attest, because once again, I'm the professional Ancient Apparition, as everyone's going to learn. But those are pretty tricky to hurt, especially when you get in like that close range. The second shot moves so slowly, it's pretty easy to dodge, so you have to be pretty skilled with it. But I do want to point out also on that ultimate, even if you don't hit them with the circle, if the orb, the first shot, passes through it, they still get affected by the debuff that doesn't allow health regen, and if they tick under a certain percent health, they shatter for an instant kill.
Yeah, that's very important to remember. You know that shatter is so huge potentially to be able to take out heroes that are just trying to sneak away. We just saw bottom lane. Doombringer had to walk back to base. Is able to TP back, but giving Angel some time to farm. In comes an Ancient Apparition ulti, a silence on Mirana, not going to amount to anything, out of mana anyway. So she will back off, wait for the Doom to end, and probably look to just come back into the lane.
Yeah, see, that is, I guess, the problem with Doombringer. Like Ancient Apparition, he just can't really set anything up with it. Like, I guess it was a good idea to try Doom in case Ancient. If that was more accurate, then she wouldn't have been able to leap away because she was silenced. But it just wasn't lined up well enough, unfortunately. So, at least nothing. But hey, Doombringer still gets to free farm his lane, so he's still happy.
Definitely, he's not even halfway to the Ring of Health, which he desperately needs to be able to stay in this lane. Hopefully he'll be able to get close before Mirana is able to come back. But, we see he isn't picking up any points in level death. So, yeah, like we're saying, he really doesn't have any follow-up after that ultimate. He kind of just has to hope that he can auto-attack her to death, which he most likely will not do.
Actually, looks
without
like
help, of course.
Initiation is going to happen here. Venomancer hiding away in these woods, waiting for the perfect time, and this might be it right here. It looks like Ancient Apparition doing a little harassing. No, he's just still sitting cool as a cucumber. Cool phrase, by the way. And actually, it looks like he's coming in now. He knew something was up. He's heading towards the top there. Sees there's no rune, so he's just going to chill. Wow, I'm making all these puns. It's pretty funny. Actually, meanwhile, Ward's going to get used middle, and Ancient Apparition's going all out on the Shadow Shaman, trying to finish him off here. He does not... Oh, he does. He did have the ultimate effect on him, so he did get shattered at the end. So it looks like this middle tower still might get pushed, though, just because of the pure power of his wards.
Yeah, that's really good play by Ancient Apparition, that you might not always think about. Instead of running straight back for his tower, I'm sorry, Tidehunter looks to go in here on Venomancer, and Vengeful Spirit picks up another kill, while Shadow Shaman does get the kill on that tower. But, before I was, here comes an arrow from Mirana. She looks to try and maybe put up some damage on this Vengeful Spirit. The stun comes out. There's no follow-up, though. Mirana looks to try and chase down this Tidehunter. She will be able to... Yes, she is able to get that last hit. A triple kill for Mirana. Wow. That's not good for the opposing team.
Not at all. I mean, she did leave Doombringer to just keep free farm, but he didn't even push the lane, didn't even affect it. He was just trying to keep control. In the end, he really didn't benefit from that at all, whereas Mirana, 3 kills, it's going to give her at least 600, 700 gold. There's so much she could do with that. She has 2,000 she's sitting on. I'm not going to say Majnir is the build choice, but you never know.
You do never know. That is for sure. You can never be too sure in this crazy game. But anyway, going back to what I was saying before, as I'm interrupted again by action, the bottom river. Looks like Calculus might go down. Willie, the shatter damage will be enough. Ancient Apparition able to pick up a kill there. As Angel is able to pick up a kill at top, looking to pursue this Vengeful Spirit. Looks like Crystal Maiden's going to try and do what she can. The slow is coming up. Will she use it? Yes, she does, and that helps get a kill for Anti-Mage, who is now looking to come back to get some revenge for Angel, who goes down to the Windrunner. That Windrun, though, is going to help her escape from Anti-Mage. They stop the pursuit, knowing that they're not going to be able to stop her from getting away. I would like to talk about Ancient Apparition at mid.
Would you?
I think I might. He instead of running back to his tower, nobody's even going to remember what happened now. It's been so long. But when Calculus is looking to set up that gank, instead of running back to his tower, he ran up towards the top river. If he would run straight back for the tower, he would have been poisoned. Well, it doesn't even matter anymore. Here in the middle lane, it looks like Miguel's trying to set up a ward trap. It doesn't even need to. Ancient Apparition is going to go down to the wards. But Shadow Shaman is frostbitten. No, he will not drop down to that critical health level to allow Shatter to pick up the kill. So Ancient Apparition goes on there. Yeah.
Ancient Apparition, he does do a really good burst damage. But Shadow Shaman, so tanky already. I mean, he's got a Bracer and that build of Strength. I guess going to build that into Power Treads. And actually the Magic Wand, which gives him stats. So 1,000 health. It's pretty strong for a middle carry at this point in the game. Whereas Ancient Apparition only has 720, so obviously a huge differential there.
Yeah, those stats also help out with what we just saw. He just barely gets away from dying to an Ancient Apparition ult, and obviously having those stats is a big part of that. If he had less total health, then he would have been in shatter range potentially.
Yeah, absolutely. Meanwhile, Ancient Apparition trying to set something up here. Mirana actually scouting around, gonna find him, gonna drop the Starfall, it's gonna do that double damage burst, gets the Doom, but it's only after the leap already happens. Ancient Apparition trying to set something up, but he's just not gonna. He's really risking it here. Does survive barely thanks to that bottle and Magic Wand, but getting chased down now. It's gonna be two heroes here. He's gonna get locked down here. Venommancer trying to do any damage, but he's only level 4. He doesn't have any damage yet, unfortunately. So it's gonna be just a 1-for-nothing.
Yeah, that was a funny little exchange there. Ancient Apparition and Mirana wait, I think I can get him if I just get in this last auto attack. Wait, hold on, let me back off and then come back in again. Oh, maybe this, no. But, able to pick up that kill on Mirana here in the top lane. Tidehunter and Windrunner really look to try and take out that anti-mage being played by Sushi. They look to land the Gush power shot, not enough to take him out. He has picked up as I accidentally click away, a Ring of Health, so he has some sustainability in that lane. Taking that harassment, not really a big deal. He just backs off. 6.1 health regen when you only have 700 health. Quite amazing, and we see actually Shadow Shaman destroying yet another tower with those wards, making very good use of that ultimate.
Initiation top. Meanwhile, Tidehunter getting left onto. He's most certainly going to drop here. Mirana picks up the kill. Another great initiation there. CM setting these up pretty well, followed up by like a Mirana arrow. Tidehunter didn't really stand a chance at all. Windrunner, I want to point out because we haven't done it yet, the farm so far. Windrunner has 61-9 compared to a 30-4 anti-mage. So obviously their killing is working really well. Actually, action top. I'm going to get to it. Crystal Main gets picked off. Mirana does kill Vengeful Spear, however, so 1-for-1 support trade. It looks like Anti-Mage and Mirana looking to chase him down, but they're not going to be able to finish anyone off here. Tidehunter comes back in. Ulti's ready to go. Drops it. Hits all three with them. They're going to look to pick up Anti-Mage. Not going to happen, though. Mirana still has her leap up. She's getting a little chased down, but she's safe as far as we're concerned. Actually, a little initiation. She comes back in, drops the Starfall, only hits once, though, so it's not going to be enough for a kill. Meanwhile, it's a Doom on Anti-Mage. She jumps into a trap. Oh, it's a tarp. Here comes the turnaround. Mirana getting followed down. There's not a lot of big damage, though, coming out. Just a lot of little bit of burst damage. Doombringer trying to get level death ready to go here. Nice blink out there. And they're gonna both survive and TP out. So really good job there.
Yourself is so offended. You cut yourself off so bad. You should really apologize yourself. I feel like I'm not gonna be able to go on this cast. Okay, just making sure there. That was really good play. Anti-Mage able to hide in those trees, able to blink away. Picking off an Anti-Mage. So he, especially like you were saying, he's had such good farm. He's really unfortunate to lose that. There, he does pick up a Vitality booster, looking to finish that Vanguard, but he has the poor man's shield, so he's going to have to pick up another shield in order to finish that off. So, that's another part of why he's been able to get that kind of farm in the top lane, because he's so tanky already with that first pickup of the poor man's shield.
I was actually kind of going the opposite direction and saying that his farm was kind of bad, but
no,
we can disagree, I guess. No. Meanwhile, Anti-Mage finding this Venommancer, catching him off guard, trying to drop the ulti, it's not going to hit, unfortunately. If that hit, that might be a kill right now. I lied. It was a hit. Well, either way, it's not a kill. So, whatever. It's hard to tell sometimes. Action top. Shadow Shaman does get the kill by dropping the wards. They're also going to take the tower, most likely. They're trying to chase down Tidehunter. One more arrow is going to do the trick. And here comes Angel harassing Doombringer out. No doubt this tower is going to fall.
As I was saying beforehand, Anti-Mage wants to pick up that poor man's shield because he's so far behind in farm. He really wants to get that going there. Being able to pick up these towers, though, is huge. They're going to leave the wards there with this creep wave. Look to finish that off. They don't even need to really get too close. Just want to try and make sure they get that last hit. The Dire winds up picking up the kill. And so there you go. The third tower picked up for Monkey.
Yeah, and actually, Windrunner does end up finishing the mechanism, so has that decent team fight potential, I suppose you could say. But I really was looking for Doombringer to have, I guess, a little more oomph at this point in the game. I mean, I guess I'm a little biased since the other game we watched, the Spectre at 19 minutes already had his Radiance, so not quite the same game as that one, but still, only having a Vanguard, it's really not enough to do much with, I guess he's only got 300 gold, so he's not even close to his next item.
I mean, the thing that they really picked up the Doombringer for was for that silence. He's definitely been making good of it. Unfortunately, they haven't been able to capitalize on its presence in these team fights, but he has been using it effectively to try and pick up these kills on Mirana as well as Anti-Mage. Here they look to pick up kill in the tower. They do. Doombringer, there you go, gets himself some money, now up to 1,000. We'll have to see what he looks to build. Obviously, like you were saying, we'd expect to see a Radiant, so we'll have to see what comes of that.
Definitely. Actually, Shadowshaman was putting a lot of pressure on this second tier middle tower here. It's already down to 460 health, and that was without ward help. So you can only imagine if he had it, that would have been a gone lane. But Shappers in the meantime just keeping control of the lane, not trying to push out this bottom lane too much. Actually, a little gank sub as it appears. Mirana did drop her ulti. They're going to have an easy time of being trapped from here. Gets the CC and drops instantly. Windrunner actually out of position here. Gets ward trapped. Trying to escape, actually does manage to, because it appears that the other people, I take that back. Sandy gets the ultimate and does finish off Windrunner, and now he escapes. So actually a 2-for-0 trade there, and they're probably going to look to push this tower.
Definitely, generally when you have carry-heavy teams, you're almost thinking, alright, we just have to survive the early game, hopefully pick up some farm, and that'll be enough. But we're really seeing by Shadow Shaman really able to put pressure on this tower, on these towers, able to pick up that early gold. That's just really helping Anti-Mage and Mirana get to that end game scenario much sooner. We see an ultimate orb picked up by Mirana, some health, some mana, some agility. Perfect item there. As we look to see in the middle lane, Doombringer and Tide look to try and push this middle tower. Here comes an AA ulti. It is able to hit Anti-Mage, who also has the Doombringer ultimate. Will he go down? He needs to lose 100 more health. Calculus now running around in the woods. Looks like he might try and pick up this kill on Tidehunter. He does. The poison damage is enough. Rise comes porting in, as well as Angel. They look to try and take out this Doombringer. Will they be able to? He gets down. Yes, he will finally go down. As Miguel looks to try and come in and help out as well. So just good play there. Good map awareness. Using those ports to get in and help the teammates out.
Yeah, I mean, phenomenal play there. That just shows the power Veenomancer can have and how much he can sway a fight. I mean, that damage is just so high, and those wards too. They really do add up over the course of a fight. So it's something to be wary of. Anti-Mage, and his ability really shined there in that fight. He was getting really hurt. The Doom Mage apparition wasn't enough to kill. He actually ended up switching to Power Treads, give himself a little more health boost, but. He was able to get down. He was low health, but he came back in that fight and was able to just because of his sheer mobility. So, I mean, he really is showing his strengths here.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, that's why you build Anti-Mage Shanky. If he had 100 less health, which, is less than half of what Vanguard actually gives. I mean, it gives almost 300 health. It's just a huge amount. Being able to pick up that early, it really gives him that survivability that he wants, and that obviously just was so effective there, stopping him from dying to the Ancient Apparition and Doombringer ult.
Meanwhile, we have an Invis Rune Shadow Shaman going to find a Vengeful Spirit and a Tidehunter, but he's not going to be able to do anything just by himself. It probably would hurt him quite a bit, so he's going to just wait for his team to come and support him, I guess. Leaving Doombringer here, just for free farm bottom, 1,400 gold. He's not even close to a relic. He's probably actually going to end up turning. I would think he gets something besides a Radiance, because it's already 20 minutes in.
Yeah, that's an item that really starts to fall off as you go. He's only up to 1,500 gold. I think Radiance might be an alright idea up to maybe the 30-minute mark. Certainly, if it takes any longer than that, you should just abandon all hope and go for something else. But yeah, I think it's interesting. We actually just had a counter ward come up here in the middle lane. There's a ward sitting there, keeping vision up onto that the area above the river, and we also have a ward here at the bottom river. So you can just kind of see, based on this ward placement, super aggressive ward placement by Monkey, and it's really kind of passive, back-footed ward placement by V.
Yeah, actually, here we see another Ancient Apparition coming into the middle. It's gone. I guess he wants to kill creeps. Nope, never detonates it. Well, maybe he's just using a scout. We'll give him the benefit of the doubt. A little bit of teams building up here in the middle. They really want to try to push this tower, but it's going to be interesting to see if they actually can go through with it. Ancient Apparition did already drop her ultimate, and they actually are putting pressure on this top lane. So if they're going to want to do something middle, they have to do it now. And actually, look at all these Serpent Wards. I mean, it's just such a strong defense. These creeps die instantly.
Yeah, so many wards, Venomancer wards, Serpent wards. And when you look at the other team, there isn't really that hard carry, so they really desperately need these tower kills in order to stay in the game. There's only one tower down for them, so they're really hurting for the gold. And as we've been saying, Doombringer not getting the amount he wants. He's up to 2,000 gold. Looks like he probably is going to try and save up for that Sacred Relic at this point. But, like we're saying, hopefully he's going to have to try and get that in the next few minutes for it to really be effective. They go on a rise here in the middle lane. Crystal Maiden will go down as they look to try and keep putting pressure on this middle lane. The Serpent Wards by Shadow Shaman are going to go down shortly. And now that they're a man down, they might be able to pick up this tower. Ports do come in by Angel and Calculus to try and keep up the defense here, but it's going to be a struggle.
That poor broad. I don't know what she ever did to them. I guess they don't like mana regen or something. They're going to start their push here. Here comes Mirana flying. Does hit the creep. The creep takes the bullet. Little counter initiation back on Mirana, but it's going to be for nothing. And just like that, it's going to stop the push again. And meanwhile, Anti-Mage has been getting such a strong farm. I'm going to pull up the gold farm chart really quickly. It started out a little bit in the favor for the Radiant, but right around that 8-9 minute mark, probably when Mirana got that triple kill, it's just been going downhill steadily. It's over 5,000 gold now in favor of the Dire.
Yeah, I mean, you just look at that scenario right there. Crystal Maiden's dead, so there's one less person to defend, and there are 4 or 5 people trying to push the other way, and they aren't able to pick it up, while Anti-Mage is off in the top lane, farming away. Eventually, they have to send Winter up there to try and slow him down, but he just goes off into the jungle and continues that farm. He has picked up Perseverance. He's going to go for that Battle Fury, which is only going to help him farm that much better. So, the opposing team, V, they're really going to have to try and do something soon to change the flow of this game, because the way it's going now, it does not look good for them.
Well, I think part of the problem for them is really how under-farmed Ancient Apparition is for them. I mean, you see in his stash, he does have a Staff of Wizardry. Obviously, he's going to go for that, Force Staff to try to help out. But, he really doesn't contribute. He does have that nice ultimate, but he doesn't have a lot of utility and a lot of tankiness. So, really, they're forcing Windrunner here to build all of their support items. He's already got the Mechanism and has the Hood of Defiance here. I assume he's going to go for a fight.
In the middle lane, Venomancer was just killed. The money is split. Tidehunter drops his ulti, trying to pick up a kill here on Anti-Mage. The Mirana ultimate is popped as Shadow Shaman picks up the kill on Ancient Apparition. Anti-Mage looks to continue in here with Rise and Shadow Shaman, and on Tidehunter he will go down. The silence goes in on Mirana, but it's not going to be enough to provide any kills, while Rise and Sushi, playing this Anti-Mage, look to continue to go in here. They will pick up a kill on Vengeful Spirit. Anti-Mage, decides to stop chasing. He knows that the Doombringer is so tanky that he's not going to be able to bring him down, and they now retreat after picking up 3-for-1 kills.
And actually the Serpent Wards drop, so that's going to be a definite tower kill here in middle. Meanwhile, Anti-Mage is wiping his hands clean and going back to top. He does end up finishing what he needs. He actually has a Yasha on top of that Battle Fury, so he is just going to be a beast. I mean, so much damage. Oh, I was mistaken. That Yasha is probably for Mirana. I was going to say that is some insane bar if he got both of those.
Yeah, absolutely. That would be quite crazy. That's the thing when you look at these teams. We didn't really address this in the beginning, but you really need the Doombringer to get that farm. But he's coming in late. There's just a ton of early game dominance between Crystal Maiden, Venomancer, and Shadow Shaman, and there just isn't from the opposing team. There isn't any kind of push potential there. Maybe if they had something like a Chen, and instead of tri-laning, maybe run something different up there. There's just nothing there for them to be able to push towers and secure strong footing in the late game, like there is for Monkey.
Yeah, I mean, Monkey's late game potential, you have to like it a lot more right now. Actually, Initiation comes in, Vengeful does a swap. Anti-Mage getting incredibly hurt. Anti-Mage trying to drop the ultimate, does not hit Anti-Mage, unfortunately, and now they're just getting counter-initiated. Tons of damage coming out. Anti-Mage does ulti on the Enchant Apparition. He drops. It's 3 down already for none. Doombringer getting chased down by Mirana, who has a double damage rune, doing massive damage. Windrunner getting chased down now. Uses that Windrun, trying to get out, and he is going to survive, but 4 for nothing. That hurts.
Yeah, Mirana picking up a triple kill. That's unbelievable. Picking up her second of the game. Really, that Starstorm did so much damage there. She looks to start Roshan. Very smart decision. They still have a fair amount of time left on this double damage rune. They're going to be able to melt this between the just the damage that they have with their carries and the Venomancer rewards as well. There's nobody to contest this. They're going to obviously pick it up. They're going to get that 200 gold advantage for each of them, as well as the Token of Life, which you have to imagine is going to be picked up by Anti-Mage. That's something I was thinking in that fight that Anti-Mage did really well. He got focused on there from the beginning. The opposing team pushed past him, and he just decided to blink towards the enemy base to make sure that he was out of harm's way. If he had gone the other way, he may have gotten enough distance away, but because of where the enemy team was positioned, they might have been able to drop some more spells on him, perhaps hold him in place, or just burst him down. Really smart play by him to go again away from his team in order to secure himself some safety, and then the ability to turn it around and help secure more kills.
Yeah, absolutely. That shows quite the knowledge he has. Actually, smoked up team here, trying to initiate, get the swap, and the Doom. This is absolutely a dead Mirana, so it's a good thing she did not pick up that token. She's going to drop there. Get 475 gold to that Ancient Apparition, who obviously desperately needs it. Let's face it, their whole team does. So now they're going to look to maybe do a little pushing of themselves. But actually, and I think this is a smart play, they know that top tower is going to be kind of hard to defend without a Mirana, so instead they're going to put their own pressure, and with a Shadow Shaman, with that level 2 ultimate, they're going to have to fall back and defend, especially with bottom also getting pressured.
Yeah, Anti-Mage is going to probably be able to push that faster than his teammates will be able to push middle. He's going to be able to do a significant amount of damage to this tower. It's funny, in that top lane, we really saw what you and I were really expecting to see from that tri-lane in the beginning. There was a ton of just upfront burst damage as Windrunner is actually able to pick up a kill on Venomancer, who was trying to, help secure this kill on the middle tower. It only goes down about 400 health, though. But, we see that upfront burst damage be able to pick up that kill on Mirana very easily, even though she was able to jump away.
Yeah, absolutely. Just to clarify how that Venomancer, he was taking shots from the tower, and then Ancient Apparition, all the way from that top lane, snipes him with an ultimate, and Windrunner just follows up with a really good power shot. So, really good combination, good communication there. Oh, go ahead.
Oh. I have no idea what I was talking about before, but now that you've given me an opportunity to speak again, I will also say, those are kind of skills that you kind of take for granted, being able to land the Ancient Apparition ulti from across the map and then follow that up by another aimed ability in the power shot, it just shows you the caliber of player that we're playing with, despite the fact that, they're really not looking too hot here at about the 29-minute mark. They look to try and push this middle tower. Mirana with another double damage room. She misses her arrow. Anti-Mage looks to jump in. They do silence the Anti-Mage. Are they going to be able to take him down? They want to. Looks like Tidehunter will get his ulti off, but takes so much damage trying to get into position to do that. Anti-Mage will not go down in this amount of time as Vengeful Spirit gets chased down. Mirana will pick up that kill. Now it looks like Windrunner will get taken down by Shadow Shaman, gets a mega kill and a double kill, while it looks like Ancient Apparition will get destroyed by the Anti-Mage ultimate, going unstoppable.
Unbelievable. And here comes Crystal Maiden 101 like a boss against his Doombringer. He does have that second relic, but it's not going to help him out right now. That's going to drop. That's just a decimation from this Dire team. 5 for none, and they're going to have no trouble pushing down this middle lane, possibly bottom lane after.
Yeah, here we have more wards. Wards.
Wards everywhere.
There aren't that many dots in this game. We can't call for more dots, but we can call for more wards. Venomancer will be happy to supply those as we look to take down these buildings. Here we have, as we were talking earlier, obviously, because this middle lane's going down, it's really not that big of a deal, but we can also see that Doombringer just has a Sacred Relic, hasn't picked up that Radiance by the 30-minute mark. So, they're really going to have to pull out some tricks if they look to try and take this game. Looking around at the items for the Radiant, there really isn't any kind of CC either, which is really what they need to be able to stop Mirana and Anti-Mage. We've seen all this damage go down on Anti-Mage. She's so tanky, though, plus he has that Aegis. Despite all the damage they put up on him and the silence, still not going down. They really need to try and find another way to contain him and stop him from moving around during these team fights so they can pick him off once and for all.
Well, you know, he's not, honestly, he's not that tanky. I mean, he does have a Vanguard, which is really nice, but the sheer level difference is really what's making him so hard to kill. He's level 18, almost 19. The highest level you see on the other team is, 13. So just that huge level difference is just making him such a force to be reckoned with. And then also, on top of that Aegis is immortal. I mean, even if they manage to somehow kill him there, which you saw them use everything they had on him, the Doom, the Ancient Apparition ult, the Tidehunter ult, it still just wasn't enough. And I mean, when you can't even make him use his Aegis with everything, you're not going to probably end up winning this game.
Yeah, the other thing too, that poor Tidehunter tried his hardest to just get up into the middle. He got that ult off with his last dying breath, got blown up just trying to walk forward. Just so much damage coming out from Mirana and Anti-Mage. It's really hard to contest.
Yeah, absolutely. Meanwhile, the other thing to point out, how lucky is this Mirana? That's, the second double damage rune she's had for a team fight. I mean, that just, the small things you want to notice that just really can play such a huge, important role. And since you also want to point out the fact that since Anti-Mage, everything was used on him, nothing was used on Mirana, which just left her to just do so much damage. It's just, if you leave something like that behind, of course, that's what's going to deal out most of the damage in the fight.
Yeah, looking at little things, actually, Mirana happened to have a little bit of money in her pocket, 4,300, dropped some of it on a D-Mage, and, still has 1,800 in case she wants to, buy herself something pretty. It's going to actually wind up picking up a regeneration rune here at the bottom, so worst case scenario, she might be able to leap herself out of a sticky situation and regen right back up, and picking up that additional 46 damage with the Demon Edge, huge.
Yeah, I mean, as much as you want to kill Anti-Mage at this point, Mirana is the easier to kill target and probably does pretty similar, obviously not as much damage, but she's doing amazing damage herself. So, I don't know, it'd just be interesting to see if it really is the good choice, especially to go for the guy that has the Aegis. I mean, yeah, you don't want him messing everything up, but in the end, maybe you should go for the target that at least you can kill.
Yeah, we see Anti-Mage actually picking up Vladimir's offer and giving him that lifesteal. Since he can't pick up the Orb effect, Serpent Ward dropped yet again, looking to try and pick up a tower. Mancer Ward's coming out as well. Anti-Mage feels free to just sit up on this tower. Shadow Shaman picks up the final kill, dropping plenty on this Anti-Mage, and he isn't even down to half health yet. They're going to be able to keep putting up wards. His Shadow Shaman Ward's unfortunately not close enough to damage the buildings. The one is. But Anti-Mage finally decides to go in here. He will look to try to take down Tidehunter. He gets away with 40 health. And now look to turn it around. No, he continues to go in. He blinks past. Even with the silence up, he's just going to destroy Windrunner and all. Stunned. Will he be able to get away? Yes, he does. Windrunner buys back in the game and try and stop this, but the bottom lane shares the same fate as mid lane, going down to all of this push and carry.
I mean, that just goes to show a Tidehunter couldn't even use his ultimate. And a Tidehunter without his ultimate might be, well, obviously not a very useful hero. And actually, a little counter initiation, Anti-Mage might actually drop here. Getting a lot of damage, still alive somehow. Meanwhile, Doombringer paying with his life, and Windrunner, who bought back, must have drops again. Vengeful Spirit had a lot of poison damage going down him. Anti-Mage actually still alive with 200 health. Unbelievable. Tidehunter's only one up, uses his ultimate finally, gives out a last hurrah, and then drops himself.
Yeah, Anti-Mage there got down to, I think, 200 health, still had the Aegis. Just not enough damage. I was about to say right before that fight started, turning point, Doombringer Radiance, but unfortunately, Monkey, bunch of jerks, decided to press the game and take the top tower, spawn the crazy creeps, and they're going to be able to take out the middle towers here, and then destroy the poor ancient fortress. Didn't do anything to anybody.
It's kind of high up in the sky there. I mean, it's kind of taunting you.
Yeah, that's true. It's, look at, oh, I'm so shiny, and yours is all just a hole in the ground. But, what can you do? These two towers will go down. They will now look to finish off this fortress. Good game played by Monkey. Yet another game in the opening parts of the Electronic Sports World Cup. Monkey will get a kill out of this and look to continue on in the competition.
As always, guys, thanks for tuning in to Broadcast here with Matt and Jay. Stay tuned. We got plenty more games coming up for you.